Greetings YouTube! Today we're looking at an effin' grow design, and this is the, let's see, CH2008. There also is a code on here, the X0027JR2M7. So with that information, you should be able to find this knife on Amazon, which is where I got it. This knife was available in 3 different color options, 2 of them with the black G10 scales. This has red here, and there was another one that had blue. You can see right off the bat that it is a closed construction, which is makes it a little more difficult to keep a knife clean, but it also means that you're not going to be have your knife edge completely protected. I really like these the red circle around the pivots. I think it's a really nice design. The scales on the scales on this have both cross hatching and also texturing. There's a problem with this. This texturing is very aggressive. Now I like the cross hatching. I like the grooves in this. I think they could have cut back on the texturing because of that. Because this is so aggressive that I had to significantly bend out this clip to get it to work with a pair of jeans. Because as it came out of the box, excuse me, when it came out of the box, it was much tighter, and it was so tight that when I was taking it out of my pocket, I'm lifting my entire pant leg up, and when I'm putting it back in my pocket, I'm actually pushing my pants off my body. So I did a field expedient modification of shoving a brass putty knife in there and just bending the clip up a little until it became comfortable to use in a pair of jeans. And even though that gap looks big, that is still comfortable and still secure in a pair of jeans because this is fairly wide and it's also fairly aggressive. Now, having said that, there's nice chamfering all the way around. There are no sharp edges. You're not going to hurt yourself on this. It is a single position pocket clip, tip up, which again, all knives should be tip up. And I like the fact that it actually has little standoffs. I think that's a nice design. Little steel cylinders in there. So let's go ahead and show you why I picked up this knife. And there you go. It is a wonderful sheep's foot blade. Flat grind. Came out of the box with an excellent edge. I was quite happy with it. Can I show you what was hard to see? Yeah, I don't think I can do it in this lighting at the moment, but the liner on this side has been skeletonized, which is nice. But let's actually look at the weight on this puppy. And we got 148 grams, so it is not a light knife. It is also pretty substantial in size. As you can see, that's a pretty big blade, and that's a lot of wonderful sheep's foot. It is really quite nice. Now look at the centering on this, and the centering is excellent. Section centering is excellent. Now, again, I said this texturing I think is too severe. I think it would have been better to make this smoother. Since I like the grooves, making this smoother would have made it come in and out of the pockets a little better, or maybe increasing the chamfering on the edges. Maybe that would have helped. But one thing right off the bat is I got the knife because of this. I love a straight Wharncliffe or sheep's foot blade, and I really happen to like this shape. It is excellent. It's a great safety shape. You're not going to be stabbing anything with it. I think it gives you good cutting because when you're cutting, your edge is engaged all the way from where you start to the tip, so I like that. Having handled it and carried it now, beyond the difficulty of the scales giving too much resistance getting it in and out of the pocket, I find this overall knife, the overall size and profile to be large. It just seems to be significantly larger than it needs to. You can see this. This tip right there is only sitting in about 2 millimeters. I think you could have come up with a different design that would have made this whole handle much narrower. Because besides being on the heavy side, it takes up a lot of pocket real estate because it is a wide knife. I think you could have knocked off 4 millimeters off this design, making it much more narrow and lighter, and giving it a more gracile appearance, because the blade is not big and bulky. It's a nice shape. It's a nice proportions. I really like it. The handle almost looks like it belongs to another knife. To me, it doesn't balance with the blade well. I bought the knife because I like the blade. I like the blade. I think the handle does not match the blade well. I think they could have come up with a better design that would have kept the knife, safely stored when you're not using it, but would have been narrower and lighter. So it's not uncomfortable, but it also isn't really wonderfully comfortable. It's there. I think it's a little wide in the hand as well as being a little wide in the pocket. It's wider than it needs to be, in my opinion. And I base that opinion on the fact that you're talking to a guy who owns lots of knives. I don't know how many knives I own. When people ask me that question, I say more than 2. But I've been carrying knives every day for 44 years. So I know what I like in a knife, and I think that this handle is too wide. It's too bulky for the shape and the style of the blade. I think the blade needs a better handle design, but that's just me. All right, so this has been the F&Grow CH 2008, a wonderful sheep's foot design, but with a handle I think that really could use a redesign. Follow-up, because I completely screwed this up. I grabbed the wrong box. This is a YoboTool knife, not an F&Grow. This is Yobo. I'm not redoing the entire darn video because everything else I said completely stands. But yeah, like, I do on my next knife review and I'm like, hold on a second, that's not right. Darn it. So yeah, I was wrong. Awesome box for it though. Whoops. Well, that's not coming back up. It had a nice little sleeve, got a nice insert, and oddly, it was shrink wrapped. I forgot to mention that when I did this earlier. First time I've ever got a knife that was shrink wrapped. Completely shrink wrapped. I've never had a knife that was shrink wrapped. Nice oil too. They did a good job of keeping it protected. So, my apologies. This is not an F&Grow. This is a Yobo knife. It is the, the only code I've got on here is the code for, there we go, it's the Cayman. I'm sorry, the Cayman. So yeah, my apologies. This is not an F&Grow. This is a Yobo Cayman. Best blade plans of mice and men. I'm doing like 7 nut blade reviews all at the same time. I have knives everywhere. I grabbed the wrong box. My apologies. Oh, and it does come with this wonderful little instructions manual card, which I thought was great. Created for every explorer, Yobo. Nice logo, good explanation how to open and close it. Everything else I said still stands. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm human. And these will be stitched together so you will have a seamless transition for when I went from being completely wrong to correcting myself. So, yeah, my apologies.